4 guards essentially with Wiley, so they've got to try and find some room to put the ball on the floor. They've got to try and find a way to break this Sheffield defense down.
VC going for a fadeaway again. Dusha.
They don't have breakdowns, as we see from Plymouth in the early stages. They don't make those little mistakes to give you cheap points against them. You can see how hard Plymouth have got to work for that. You know, nearly a turnover. Luckily, Taylor Johnson in the right place, but it's so hard to get easy points against them. That's going to be the matchup, though. Johnson gets a good look at it. He's an excellent shooter from the outside. It's a tough matchup for Cook to try and get out to him.
Ramsey pick and pop now. Cook pump fakes. I'd like to see him throw that one down here, just kind of silence the crowd, but at the moment.
Great to see Joe Hart back on the floor after sitting out last year. And this is what he does. He's a floor spacer when he gets going for Plymouth.
Well, battling for offensive boards now. Trying to fight his way in the round, but maybe getting away with a few steps there. But in the end, it's an and one for the big fella.
Work on the boards. Yeah, 27 steps in there, and then Cook gets called for a tough one, but
can the Plymouth City Patriots respond? Penetrates down the middle, makes a no-look dime. Inside the paint goes up, and then a good response, paint to paint there from these two teams.
And you see stops and run for Plymouth. Chance for them to play just against a slightly looser defense from Sheffield, and that's what happens.
Well, getting their first three-point field goal in the home crowd.
Well, the team always fights. In everything they do, they play with great energy, and it's plays like that, you know, whether that's a pass, an offensive rebound, I'm not sure, but either way. This is the question now with the media timeout coming in less than a minute for Atiba. They need something to stem the momentum. They get exactly that, and it's from Pipkins, key man for Sheffield.
Or are you supporting the Plymouth City Patriots? Rotino now kicking this one out. Bit of a tough pass. Goes up, getting rejected. Makai Noble said, not in my house. 9-point lead here to the City Patriots. Dan Cotto now kicking this one out. Wiley going for a deep three. It's up and it's good. And at the moment, the Plymouth City Patriots fly with confidence. Plymouth just falling asleep there on defense. You saw the response from Coach Paul James. Again, they try to go inside the lane. That's a much better shot selection. Again, sinking that one.
See if they can draw something up for him. He's the hot hand right now.
Well, Faulkner looking to isolate down the middle. Goes all the way, and again, using the backboard to perfection. Well, Allen played good defense down the other end against Taylor Johnson. Rotino goes in and gets rejected. Well, good defense coming from the Plymouth City Patriots. Can they capitalize? Johnson wide open. Three is up. Three is good. End-to-end stuff here, and now it is a 20-point lead to the home side.
The confidence of Plymouth from that first half. LVC, a great find to get Johnson just wide open in transition.
Well, Sharks need a response here, but they turn it right back over. Johnson comes up with it. The long journey from Yorkshire to Surrey, and now here to Devon. Trying to split the defense down, but nowhere to go. Another turnover.
And that did not work for Sheffield in the first half very well.
Plymouth lead by 19 points here. A few seconds on the shot clock. Have to go for the top mid-range under intense pressure. And again, no problem from the baseline.
They're going to post up Kipper here. That's a great play call. I like this. Go to Kipper, see if he can get him going.
Well, again, takes advantage of the mismatch. Kipper Nichols causing problems here against the backcourt who are having to defend him in the post as Johnson goes up, makes a bit of contact, and a follow-up there. Well, again, throws it down with no regard.
You know, and he's been a consistent performer from Sheffield. That's what I say. Like, I like the call to try and get him the ball, see if he can get him going here.
Well, Sharks doing a better job of going to the free throw line as Taylor Johnson hits a Hail Mary three-pointer.
It's the rebounding. You know, Sheffield played a great defensive possession to give up an offensive rebound. So it was the offensive rebound, you're a weak point to protect the three-point line at that moment, and that's where Plymouth took advantage. If they can. Interesting to see Plymouth had changed up the defense, but a zone for them. See if they can take away the threat of Nichols under the basket. Somebody's down hurt. Who's that? But it hasn't been seamless as it was last season. They haven't used it as much so far in this early stages.
Well, Dan Cotto going coast to coast, goes up and finishing with a strong move around the basket. A nice move there by Johnson. Noble finds dish up there, but again, another missed opportunity for the Plymouth City Patriots. But Nichols now split the defense out, getting rejected. Well, what a block shot by Jacob Wiley. Nichols went in. Wiley just said, no in me, cast. Sheffield just throwing it right away. Again, the reaction from that play. A disappointing offense there from the Sharks.
Oh, it's frustrating if you're a Sheffield fan because they've played some really good defense and they've got these little chippy opportunities. And if you think the two that they've lost, the travel from RJ, the turnover there. He said, who's going to be the leader for Plymouth? So often it's been Elvisi Dusha. See if he can have that influence, that calming nature on his team.
Well, Mason Faulkner just making the penetration, drawing the contact. A handoff with Mason Faulkner and Atwood. BC back in the game for the City Patriots. Johnson going in, finish. Pipkins now carrying the backcourt, trying to find dribble out of Koya. That's Rutino. Rutino now in and around, goes off the backboard, a strong finish.
That's not really his game, Rutino off the dribble, but great work from him.
Now trying to hold on to the lead. There you can see 10 points coming from turnovers for the Plymouth City Patriots. Only 8 coming for the Sharks, but back-to-back buckets coming from Taylor Johnson.
The big question mark for me here for Sheffield, no Ramsey on the floor, so it's got to be Pipkins, maybe Nichols, who's just coming back in. These are the shots they want. How can they get those clean looks for Pipkins? They got one play where they use Pipkins off a pin-down screen.
Trying to hesitate now, kicking this one out. 6 on the shot clock. Wiley taking on Adekoya, going all the way, and again, making the most of the mismatch. Trying to find some inspiration here in their offense. Nichols going baseline, finds Adekoya, goes up and finishes inside the paint, and that's much better from the Sheffield Sharks.
Nichols and also Pipkins, excuse me, they've got to be the focal point for this offense. They've got to be the guys to make the play every time down for Sheffield.
Well, Faulkner going in, slicing the defense up like a California roll and just getting straight to the bucket. No help side whatsoever, Lloyd.
Poor breakdown. Again, points at the rim. Not what you want to be giving up.
Well, Terrell Allen getting the mid-range, rattling his way in and out. Adekoya missing the putback, but gets a second one. Sheffield going in for second chances, something they need to do. But again, they come up with a loose ball. Nichols down the lane. Bit of contact, goes up. No foul called. But again, another follow-up. Atwood inbounding this one. Just avoided. Well, no, they turn it over, and again, Plymouth choking under intense pressure. Sheffield with a chance. Plymouth needs some composure. Well, Johnson again turning it over. Plymouth losing it yet again. Can they capitalize there? Now it's a 5-point deficit with just over 4:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. VC Dusha trying to find a bit of space here off the pick and roll. Finds Makai Noble. Makai Noble kicks this one out. Big three coming from Faulkner. And again, a big response there for the Plymouth City Patriots. Kipper Nichols, but Sheffield get the ball back. We're under 4 minutes.
Nichols have got a mismatch, wants it on the inside.
Well, Kipper Nichols dominating inside the paint, getting the seal off against Taylor Johnson. Well, Nichols being guarded, or guarding Elvisi Dusha, excuse me. Putting the hands in the passing lane. Another turnover. Sheffield going all the way. And again, Kipper Nichols with the follow-up. And again, a bit of an acrobatic play in transition. Well, he had the position, but was unable to finish it.
He did everything right, Sheffield, apart from make at the last moment. And Plymouth show him how it's done going the other way.
Well, big buckle there coming from Makai Noble. Well, Idleroy goes for a deep three-pointer, and that cuts it back down to a 3-point ball game. Sheffield just need to be very disciplined, very principled here on defense. Johnson looking to isolate. Kicks out. Faulkner, corner. Got it! Big time three-pointer! That might be the curtain call for the Plymouth City Patriots. Pipkins goes up and just finishing under Terrell Allen, excuse me. Well, they got to get the ball inbound.
Yeah, back to Allen. He was denied.
Well, Nichols goes for a quick 3 points, way off the mark. Offensive board by RJ. Nichols going baseline, nowhere to go. And again, ladies and gentlemen, It looks like Plymouth are going to get their first victory. Congratulations to the Plymouth City Patriots as they win this one 92-87 against the Sheffield Sharks, excuse me.